Okay, we're recording. All right, if you just want to get centered and close your eyes, and I will call in the directions. I got my rattles. I call on the winds and the wisdom keepers of the south, the Pachamama, Mother Earth. We come in gratitude and ask for your support as we do this work, as we go deep, create the new within us and around us, and we call on you for your nurturing, your sustenance, and we thank you for all that you give us. I call on the wind and the wisdom keepers of the west, the mother of the waters, grandmother moon. We ask for your wisdom as we sit with our deep emotions, with our deep feelings, and we make stories and sense and clarity from them. We ask for your support and your assistance. We ask for the assistance of the divine feminine energy of the waters, and we thank you always, always for your support. We call in the winds and the wisdom keepers of the north, Huiracocha, the winged ones, and we ask for your support tonight. We call on the ancestors. We ask you to come and be with us, to sit in this circle and to advise us and to pray with us and to help us as we move forward in integrity, in purity, in joy. We thank you for being here, and we thank you for your gifts and the gifts of the winds and the wisdom. Aho. We call on the winds of the east, Inti, Father, Son. We ask that you come and be with us tonight, that you shine your light of possibility, of community, of compassion on us as we connect with the sacred masculine in balance, as we move forward into our own possibilities, and as we take on and accept the challenge of what it means to be here in this body, whole and unafraid. We call on the winds and wisdom keepers of all that is, of the great mystery, and we ask that you surround this group with light and protection and love, and the highest vibration of love that is possible, that you shine on us all and surround us with it and allow us to connect with our own highest wisdom. And we thank you.
Oh.
Okay. So last week we did a short meditation at the end on planting seed, and tonight I want to expand that image a little bit and work sort of with a garden because I actually dreamed about this full moon. I dreamed about a garden with glowing these flowers, like one would glow and then it would fall back, and then the other one would glow and fall back, and then so it was a fascinating dream, and I was like, what does this mean? I don't even know what this means. And so I got a little inspiration on this garden, and so that's what we'll be working with. And I am going to share my screen. We'll see if this happens. No. All right, can everybody see the slide there?
Yes, now I can.
Awesome. Okay. I'm getting the hang of this. Every week I practice with Scoop. Like I do set up a little meeting at 6, and I try to work out all the bugs. So far it's working okay, but I don't know about that. So I have this quote that I really love from The Secret Garden, and it just sort of will set the tone of tonight, hopefully. Sometimes, since I've been in the garden, I've looked up through the trees at the sky, and I've had a strange feeling of being happy, as if something was pushing and drawing in my chest and making me breathe fast. Magic is always pushing and drawing and making things out of nothing. Everything is made out of magic. Leaves and trees, flowers and birds, badgers and foxes and squirrels and people. So it must be all around us, in this garden, in all places. And that's from Frances Hodgson Burnett's Secret Garden. It's a great book. It's a great kids book, but it's also, I think, it might be for adults too. So a little bit later, we're going to do a journey, and if we have time to exercise, and we're going to sort of get some clarity on what creating a new story might look like. And we're going to start, creating from into a new place. And we're just hopefully going to get some clarity on where you want to focus your intentions on creating something new for yourself and for your writing, for your story, but more for your life. So I want to read a passage. I'm doing a garden theme, so I'm going to read a passage from The Wisdom of the Grandmothers, which this is a part of it, but I'll just read a very short passage from Rose, who had an amazing garden. Where I felt most abundant and free in my life was in my garden. It was full of good things to eat and flowers for beauty. I could get my hands dirty and enjoy what I had planted on a daily basis. In my garden, I forgot my disappointments. I couldn't worry about all the things I didn't have when I was surrounded by so many good things to eat and so much fragrance. In my garden, I was present and whole. I was powerful when I took tiny seedlings and nurtured them to full ripeness. Sometimes I would just stand in the dirt in the middle of the garden and take in the peace and sense of accomplishment I felt. Here I was queen. Here I was capable. Roses responded to my touch. String beans grew crisp and plentiful. I was happy in my garden. Think about abundance as a garden. Think of your life as a garden. In it, you are queen. All around you are the seeds you have planted. Get your hands into it and get dirty. You must care for the seeds to make them grow lush. You must pull out the weeds of doubt and fear. In this moment, look for the beauty that is there. Find the little patch of green and focus on that. Focus on the energy of growth. Nurture that. When a weed of doubt appears, yank it out with gusto. Find the people and activities that feed the green growth. Those friends you have loved, keep loving them and be grateful for the time you spent together. Stay connected. They are the strong root system that will feed you, have fed you, and have helped you to grow. Be grateful for them. Relax into this lush green garden you have created. So that was Grandma Rose, and she was very wise. Well, she's very wise after death. She's as wise as any of the rest of us in life. But just remember that your past experiences and these experiences we've been writing about up till now are really the root system of this garden of yours. And really just take a minute to be grateful for all the compost and all the roots that you've created that are your foundation. This has what's been created for your life up until this moment, and it's the basis for how you grow or where you will grow. And you know, going forward, the more clear about what you want, the more clear you are about what you want, the faster it's going to come to you. Things are coming furious now. And really, I think it's really good to get clear because things do manifest really fast. And when you are creating intentions, you are writing about your intentions, and there's going to be some ceremony I'm going to give you to do later after the class. And what I always do, and this was a coach, a coach I worked with told me this, and I always remembered it because I think it's a really good advice, is when you're writing down these intentions, always put this or something better at the end. Yeah, and that leaves the universe room to give you things that you may not have even imagined. So that's a good thing to add to your any intentions that you want to make. So I was trying to think about you know, how this really helps you to create. And this is what I kind of sort of encapsulates what I was thinking about. Writing things down gives you space to think big and aim high. No matter what is going on in your outside world, when you write things down, you enter a world of possibility. So what we're going to do tonight is enter that world of possibility. So I want to do a meditation, and this is going to be a longer one probably, to let you begin to focus on the new story you would like to create, or your own possibilities that are out there. And in the same way that you've been writing your story over the last few weeks to release the energy, in this case, you're going to be writing it down to call in new energy and to create something new. So it's basically, we're using the same vehicle with a new intention. And so after we do this meditation, I will have you write a little bit so you can get it down, you know, sort of get down any ideas that you're in clarity that comes to you. Or whatever comes to you. As always, don't follow me, follow your own guidance, but I'll be guiding you anyway. So if you want to get comfortable, and I'm just going to put on some music. I can't do this. And just get into your breath and relax. And visualize yourself in the garden from last week, where we went to plant some seeds. Remember the feel of the soil on your hands, the richness of the earth. And just picture yourself there on that rich brown earth. And in that space, just lay down. Feel the sun on your face. Feel the earth beneath you, deep and rich, smelling of moisture, smelling of the Mother Earth, her richness, her bounty. And as you lay there, you feel yourself completely at rest, completely relaxed, completely safe, wrapped in the arms of Mother Earth. Feel yourself kind of dozing off. And as you wake up, you notice that you are in a different place. You are in a shady grove with a path in front of you. And in the distance, you see a doorway. And you walk toward the doorway and you find that it is set in a wall of bricks and stones and overgrown with vines. It is inviting you to come in. So you go through, you open the door, and you let yourself in to the most beautiful garden you could possibly imagine. There are flowers everywhere. They're dancing in the sun, and some of them seem to be glowing. You feel a light breeze on your face, and you begin to explore the garden. You walk through, smelling the flowers, watching them blow gently in the breeze, picking out a few that are glowing in the sun. This is a wild garden, planted with love and just allowed to be. And as you walk through and explore the garden, you notice that certain flowers are attracting you. They're calling out with a fragrance, or they may take on a soft glow in the sunlight. They may be beckoning you in the breeze. But you see one that particularly calls to you. And you make your way toward that flower. You are in a garden full of possibilities. And this flower has presented itself to give you information about one of those possibilities. Look closely at this flower and begin to commune with it. Feel its language. Ask it to speak. Ask it what it represents for you. Which desire or wish or possibility that is held within your heart does this flower represent? Is it hope? Is it a new way to work that is in line with who you are becoming? Is it your voice being used in a new way? Is it the art that you want to create? Is it love for yourself or love from another? What desire or possibility does this flower represent? You only have to ask it. It will tell you in its own language, in your language, in the language of the heart. This may be something that's been deeply buried for a long time. And as you work with the flower, it will become more clear. What are the whisperings this flower has for you about this new possibility, or a new way to look at an old possibility? This flower has clear guidance for you. You can ask about the next step. What can bring this possibility into being? What is one thing I can do that will put me on this path, that will help me take the next step that I need? This flower has an answer, and it will be clear. And as you work with this flower, you notice that there are other flowers that seem to be glowing in the sunlight. These are other possibilities. Some will recede into the shadows, and these are possibilities that may not be for this time. But you can come to this garden often when you want to get clear on what your heart truly desires. Pay attention to those flowers that call to you. They are the ones that will bring you clarity on what your heart wants. Tend this garden carefully, cutting away any seeds of doubt, any weeds of fear and confusion. And this will allow those possibilities that feed your spirit to grow and flourish. Now, bend over and smell the smell of this one flower who has given you some clarity, some guidance, possibly a new step to take. Put your hands around the flower and feel the energy of this guidance. Feel the energy so that you may call it up at any time and get in touch with the clarity that you have received. Now you walk back slowly towards the doorway and take one last look at this beautiful garden of possibility. Feel the gratitude for these flowers that have given you this gift. And walk back through the doorway. Back down the path. And lay back down on the rich soil that supports you, the rich earth of Pachamama that is always there. And begin to notice where you planted the seeds last week. There are new shoots growing. And lay back down and get back into your breath. Breathe deeply. Back into your body. Back into the space where you are this moment. And when you're ready, just pick up your pen and paper and write. Write very fast. Don't censor. Just let your pen move across the page. Ask for clarity, for a new possibility. Take another minute. Two. Okay. Does anybody want to share? How was that experience? Were you able to see and connect with the flower, the garden?
Jean, this is Cindy. Yes, I saw only one huge flower.
Awesome.
There was a garden, but it was really not important. Even though I tried to go there, it was I have to pay attention to being very simple and just focus on one thing. And then when I looked at it, I was like, well, kind of boring or whatever. I saw deep down in the flower, all this pollination is actually filled with bees.
Oh, nice.
Imagine that. Right before the call, a bee came in my bathroom window and I was trying to get it out and it wouldn't leave. So I'm just saying thank you for the meditation, just to keep things very simple. And I relate it back to a flower I saw 5 years ago. So I realized that I was, yeah. So it's not sure what it all means, but I wrote a lot. So thank you.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, that could be something that was like not like 5 years ago. It wasn't time, but now it's coming back and it is. It's
Yeah, exactly.
It's a timing thing.
Yeah, and it's that simple. It's a timing thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hold on to that with a major creative project right now. Just keep it simple. So that
Mm,
helped a lot.
nice, nice. Anybody else want to share?
This is Christine. That was, thank you for sharing, Cindy, because that was similar for me. I really only got one flower. And it was, I'm really not sure what it's all about yet, but it was just so clear and, steady in terms of that it was the one flower to pay attention to. So it was very interesting.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. I think maybe this is one that might have to be worked with a couple of times.
Yeah, I definitely got that impression that it was just showing up now and there's more to come with this. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was very, I really didn't get much aside from the visual itself. So more to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. You just gave me an idea.
Yay!
We'll try it on Thursday
Excellent.
if things happen that way. Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, hi Jean, this is Meg. Wait, can you hear me now? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, you can hear me, right? Okay. Wow, thank you. And thank you for opening the meditation before we journeyed with the wonderful passage from The Secret Garden. I've not read that since I was a girl, and it was one of my favorite books.
I love
So
it. Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, I love
I
that.
I was immediately there, like even before the journey. Yeah, well, it was so perfect during the journey when you like I remember at one point you guided us to, right, like, so there are all of these flowers, but you can come back and see all of them, but right now the one that has come and presented itself to you. And because at first it was this beautiful star lily. I'm like, well, that's cool, but that's not the most exotic flower. Where are the other exotic flowers? Someone surely has a cool, better, but I really stayed with it, and then a rose came in, but then what really came through was I heard some of what the flower said to me. I really loved how you said, ask the flower and listen to what the flower has to say. And I got a little of the message. It really, really came through in my writing and channeling afterwards. And it really took me back to my very, very first writing, like really what I remember as a young girl writing in this field, like this wild field behind our house. And I wrote a poem before I knew what a poem and poetry was. I didn't know until I came back and shared it with my mom. And just that sheer joy, that sheer, like, pure child, heart-centered, joy of creating when you don't even know that's what you're doing.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. That's what we need to get back to, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If we can touch that magic, we're gold. So, anybody else?
This is Sherry.
Uh-huh.
I'm not really a flower gardener, but I do love flowers, and it sounds trite, but the rose was what called me to it.
Yeah.
I know that it's kind of an elite flower, and I'm more of kind of a an herb gardener, and a lot of herbs are very prosaic and weedy. And
but they're the medicine.
Yes, they're the medicines, and they're the gifts from the earth for healing. But the roses are very healing too, and there is something that when I see this rose called to me, it's like it's not only is it beautiful and complex, but it's pure. It feels like purity
Uh-huh.
because it's moist, it's soft. It like makes me want to roll in its petals and put it all over my face. And I just want to it's like I want to just make love to it. It's just so, I want to wear want to put it in my hair.
Yeah.
And, so, and it comes from, like, the roses right now are kind of in a very tight, plain green bud.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's sort of where I'm at right now. I have like gone full circle with my creativity, and I'm like really having trouble locking onto it and opening it up. And so this is like the rose just sort of unfolds its potential without drama or ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's just sort of unhindered. It glows, and it's just unhindered or not embarrassed by its drama or ceremony. It just opens up slowly but surely and inevitably. And so to me, the message was that the unfolding and the opening is to the sun, to our energy of action and light, and then opening to the water, which, our emotions, and using our emotions in a positive way, and then a nod to the mother, and knowing that the rose is adorning the mother. So it does all that without fear or doubt.
Nice.
And that's sort of where I'm in a real fear and doubt sort of cycle right now, and I'm really trying hard to get out of it. But it's obvious that it really loves its cycle, and it draws all that see it to touch its beauty and its healing and its memory.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. And that's really, you have to be in the place, in the stage of your own blooming that you're in. And that's a powerful lesson, really.
Yeah. And then it's also a cycle.
Yes, it is.
So, you sort of think everything should be linear, but I know times in my life I've been incredibly creative, and for some reason I'm just like shut. They're just things that I think I'm learning that have caused me to be cautious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little doubting my ability to handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that will pass as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing, and beautiful, beautiful sharing. Actually, this whole process of beginning to write your new story is going to, it really does. I mean, through the writing, you will become more clear. And that's always been the case, for me anyway, is the more you do it and the more you make it a practice, the more clarity you're going to get, and the more that you'll end up sending a signal to the universe that, okay, I'm ready to make this happen. I'm clear on it. Here's what I want to do. Here's how I want it to go, or better. And you can get to a point of action where you stop saying I can't and you switch to how can I. And writing will help you determine how can I. So that's I think a really interesting place to be. And writing is a good tool to use to get you into that place. So I have Julie Cameron is another favorite of mine, and she wrote the book on creativity. And she sort of had a garden quote, so I thought I would include it. And that is, creativity is our true nature. Blocks are an unnatural thwarting of a process at once as normal and as miraculous as the blossoming of a flower at the end of a slender green stem. And so, I think actually, and I'm just thinking this right now, that by getting in touch with this nature image and actually with nature itself, I think that is probably one of the biggest openers of the creative flow that there is. And so it really is, when you get in touch with nature, you get in touch with your nature as well. So, and I found another one that I really liked because I just think this is important to remember, and that is be different, be original. Nobody will remember a specific flower in a garden filled with thousands of the same yellow flower, but they will remember the one that managed to change its color to purple. So, or you can be in a garden of purple flowers and change to yellow if you choose. It's all up to you. So that's the other key to creativity. Just step out into your full eccentricity and love it. To me, full on eccentric, I love it. So this, I guess, well, it's not that true. So I have a little ceremony as I thought that it would be nice for you to do as homework. And it seems like it's something I want to do, and it's something that really is in addition to sort of putting that intention or that possibility out there to become fruitful or bloom. It is also a way of sort of being grateful. And since Saturday is Earth Day, it might be a good time. Or not. It's up to you. But anyway, I have this, and I'll send it out if you want. I'm trying to get these things up on a site, but it's not working right at the moment. But anyway, so just go out into a place in nature and meditate on this garden and see what else comes up and draw it or write it. That's one part of it. And then for the ceremony, go to a body of water. And, when you go and do a ceremony in a place, just offer some tobacco or offer something of yours, cornmeal, something to the water before you start the ceremony. And then in Peru, now what they do with objects or anything they're doing ceremony is they blow their intention or prayer into the object, and that animates it with the intention or animates it with the prayer. And that's how they do everything. Everything is animated with the breath. So for this particular ceremony, just blow your intention or your prayer for your new story into a flower that you bring with you or that you find there. Ask permission from the flower before you pick it, but just bring a flower with you and then offer the flower to the water to send out that intention to the universe. And as you visualize it going outward, just visualize it blooming into a new actuality or a new reality or a new story. And really let yourself feel what this will feel like. And then when you're finished with the ceremony, thank the guides and water spirits and everything, and write down how this feels and oops, there's a typo. Oh no. What came up for you at the water. You can write it as a story, or you can write it as a poem, or however it wants to come out. But just take the feeling of what happened when you visualize this flower going out into the world and blooming and becoming a fruition of the possibility. Just write down that feeling or whatever comes up for you. And I'm going to have to fix that typo. Ha. Anyway. So that is your homework. Are there any questions? Okay.
Is there any way to print this out? Do you know?
I can send it to you. Let me make a note. I'll send that slide to you. And that way you'll have it.
Talk about typos. If I try to write it all down right now, I probably want to be able to read my writing.
Yeah, you don't want to copy it down. So I will do that right now, right when we finish. And yeah, I think that, that will be, and that's a nice way to offer back to the earth. You can do a little prayers for the earth when you're there as well. That's what I'm going to do. So, and I'm doing all this homework, by the way. So,
Yay.
So, are there any other questions, or does anyone want to share anything else at all? We will have some time to do that on Thursday.
Okay. I'm going to post a picture on the Facebook page. I have been putting on stones the Ho'oponopono. I can never say that.
Oh, yes.
And each stone has one part of the prayer. And where I had such that terrible experience, I've been going around to things that where the dog died and where I have a memorial for him, and the trees that I love, I've been putting these stones.
Oh, nice.
And the crossroads where I do my grounding. So
That's
nice.
cool.
It's been very healing for me.
Yes.
And I'm hoping it's healing something else.
Yes, it does.
And then I ordered some Hopi black sunflower seeds, and I'm going to go plant them in this kind of unnatural, natural setting.
Yeah,
You have to be there. This was like a military camp that was abandoned. So,
the more ceremony you do on a piece of land, the more you're going to heal that piece of land. That I know. Yes,
and I'm starting with the Native Americans. And then I probably have to go to the Japanese, and then the German, and then the Italian.
Yeah. It's funny. Does anyone else want to have anything else to share at this point?
Well, I just want to say really briefly, Jean, that, divine serendipity. So last Sunday with Moira, just a really small, sweet group, just 4 of us, did the Ho'oponopono meditation. Like, we sang it for 20 minutes, the prayer.
Oh,
so beautiful and powerful and so amazing. So
that is amazing. That's so cool.
That is.
It does. I'll tell you, it does things beyond what you can even imagine. It really does.
And Sherry, I love your, thank you for sharing your story of taking that out into nature and the rocks out in the forest where you encountered the dog. I've been singing it like every night as I fall asleep or when I wake up. So
yeah, it happened at the perfect time for me. Just this whole thing.
Good.
So
awesome.
It was wonderful.
I'm glad. Okay, so I have one last thought to leave you with, maybe. So I've came across this slide when I was looking, and I kind of like it. I would almost substitute your heart, but for your mind. But your mind is the garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. The harvest can either be flowers or weeds. No. And that's from Wordsworth, so I would never substitute words for him, but that's a nice little poem that's kind of appropriate for tonight, I thought.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all for coming, for showing up. And if you like, I'll be here on Thursday. You know, we can do some more sharing, or maybe I have I got an idea while we were doing this, so we could do that as well.
Yeah.
So, okay. I will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Thank
And I will talk to you soon.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Jean. Love you. Thank you.
Love you too. Okay.